Hello and welcome to Deborah Cowell Yoga for Mature Adults. Today this class will be standing postures and finding the strength within. So finding your inner warrior perhaps. So we're going to begin today by just sitting in a comfortable easy pose. So just sitting with your legs crossed, so you can have them crossed at your shins, just lining up your knees with your feet. And if that's not comfortable for you, then you can elevate your seat so that you're sitting nice and tall. So if you have an extra block or a couple of pillows, you can elevate your seat that way by just tipping the pelvis forward. Therefore, bringing your knees down and bringing the spine up. And if this is totally not doable for you, then you can sit perhaps in a hero's pose, so sitting this way, sitting on your heels, and if this is uncomfortable for you, then you can roll up a blanket and just put it behind your knees, or sit with a block just between your feet. Again, raising the spine up. So whatever feels comfortable for you, and just come to a comfortable position. And close your eyes and just take a moment to feel the body connect with the earth. So just coming to your natural breath, just feeling your sit bones connect. And just notice the natural rhythm of your breath, and if that So maybe just placing your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly. Just to bring that awareness. And then naturally just start to smooth out your breath, making the inhalation and exhalation perhaps a little bit longer. And then take your hands to your knees. Take an inhale and exhale, just tip your head. And slowly start to open your eyes. So we're going to come onto all fours, onto the mat. We're going to just wake up our body a little bit before we go into the standing poses. So just place your hands wide on the mat, knees directly under your hips, hands directly, your shoulders. And we're going to inhale, just look up, and then exhale, take the gaze back to the navel. Inhaling forward, and exhaling back. So just come to your natural rhythm again of your breath, making the movements of your spine synchronized to the breath. Then come to a flat back and just take your left foot back, straight back, and then just take it over the right foot. And then take your gaze over your right shoulder towards your left toes. So just feeling a nice stretch along the side of the hip, side of the body, and then inhaling, coming back, bending the knee, Inhale, take the right leg straight back, and then take it over the left. And again, take your gaze over your shoulder and just have a look at your toes. And then inhaling, coming back. And then we're going to inhale and just take the left leg straight back, finding length. And then taking the right arm straight out. So really, really reaching out, finding that stability, finding that strength, and then placing the hand down, the knee down, and we'll do that on the opposite side. So take your foot out, stretch it out, and then the opposite arm. And breathe. And then come back down, bend the knee, bring the knee down. Tuck your toes, walk your hands out a little bit further on the mat. Have your hands wide on the mat. Really press down with your fingertips as if you were digging into sand. And then tuck your toes. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Draw the navel up and come into your down dog. So just walk it out for a moment. And if your knees do not go straight, then they do not go straight. Keep them bent. It's better to have the length in the body than having the legs straight. And again, just take a few deep breaths here. Drawing the navel in. Inhaling fully. And exhaling, drawing the navel right up to the spine. And exhale. And then we're going to bend our knees and look forward as we walk to the front of the mat. Bend your knees. And if you need to, you can place your hands on blocks here. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. Really take the spine forward, shoulder blades going down the back. So keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale and fold. And again, you can bend your knees here. And inhale, lengthen. So really, really keep your neck in line with your spine and really lengthen out here. Taking the crown of the head forward and then exhale and fold. One more time, inhale, lengthen. And exhale and fold. Take your feet a little bit wider now. And then we're going to place our hands on our hips. And with a nice strong back, we're going to come up with a nice flat back. And then inhaling, just bringing the arms up. Look up at your fingers. Reach up. And then take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale, just come over to the side. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. And then inhale, lengthen, switch hands, reach up, and exhale, fold. And then just let your hands float down behind you. Place your interlocked hands on your sacrum here. And then we're going to inhale and just start to bring the hands off. lifting them away from the sacrum, bringing the shoulder blades down the back, and really open up the heart here. Breathing fully. And then release and just shake out your hands for a moment. So we're going to do some standing poses today for building strength, really finding that warrior within. So I'd like you to come to the front of the mat. So the first one that we're going to do is we're going to do Virabhadrasana 1. So take your left foot and just step back about 3 feet. Now if you cannot line your hips straight to the front, then take your stance a little wider until you can get used to this. So you want to have your hips forward here. And then find that length in the spine and then start to bend the front knee. So you're putting a lot of strength in this back leg, pushing it down and taking the right hip back. So if you put your hands on your hips, you can actually physically move your hips so they're facing forward here. And then bend the front knee so that it is 90 degrees. You have your knee over top of your ankle. Toes pointing forward. Open them up wide on the mat. Just take a moment to stand here for a moment. And breathe. And then inhale the hands up. Look up at your hands. And just stay here and be very strong. And then exhale, just float your hands down. And if you like, you can bring them back behind you again. Placing your hands back on the sacrum, opening up the heart, and then lifting them away. And then release, and we're just going to step forward, back to the front of the mat, and we're going to take the opposite foot back. So stepping back about 3 feet, depending on the length of your legs. So you want your toes pointing forward. And again, you want your hips facing the front of the room. So you're going to actually take this hip back. And you're going to take a lot of the strength into the back heel, back down the leg. And again, opening the heart. And then start to bend your front leg. So again, you want your knee in line with your ankle. Nice and strong here. And just stand here for a moment, finding your feet. And maybe this is where you want to be right now. And if you need to, you can hang on to a wall until you get used to your balance. Walls are wonderful things when you're just starting out in yoga. So again, just standing here and breathing, taking your time. And then inhale, just bring the hands up. So just relax your shoulders, relax everything away from your ears. So you don't want to be drawing up around your ears, letting the shoulder blades just naturally come down the back. And if you can, take your gaze up. If not, then that's fine as well. And then exhale. Bring the hands back down behind you if you wish. Place your hands on your sacrum. Again, shoulder blades coming down the back. And inhale as you start to lift off. And then coming back. Releasing your hands, and we're just going to step to the front of the mat. So that was Virabhadrasana 1. Now we're going to do Virabhadrasana 2. So again, stepping back with your foot. And we're going to line up our heel with the back heel. So as if you had an imaginary line. So start off with your legs straight and just start to bring your hips open here. And you're taking, again, a lot of the strength into the back foot. So you're coming up onto the outside edge of your back foot. You're really engaging your quadricep here, and you're taking your hip back. And then start to bend your front knee. And again, you want to have your knee lined up with your ankle here. And you want to have your knee in alignment all the way down to your second toe. So if you look down and you can't see your big toe, then you need to adjust your knee to keep it safe. So just starting off here, and you might find that you maybe can't go as deep to begin with, and that's perfectly fine too. And then just start to lift your hands up. So think about taking your body almost as if you were reaching back this way, so that you're not leaning over the front. So nice and strong in the core here, core nice and strong. And then just take your gaze out over your middle finger at the front. And breathing. And you might want to check your alignment. You want your front arm in line with your back arm, parallel to the floor. And then just bring your hands down. Straighten your front knee and just turn both feet in. And we're just going to go in the opposite direction. So you're already lined up. And again, find your feet. Open the hips up to the side. Check the alignment of your knee. Make sure that you can see your big toe. And then open the arms up. And just come to your breath and take your gaze out over your second finger. Just breathing here. And maybe on the exhalation you can start to sink perhaps a little bit deeper. You may even want to walk your foot out a little bit further so that you can sink a little deeper. So wherever you are today, that's perfectly fine. Just stay there and breathe. And then we're going to start to straighten the front knee. Bring the toes back parallel and just hop to the center. So that was Virabhadrasana 2. So now we're going to do Trikonasana. So Trikonasana is triangle pose. So again, come to the front of the mat. Take the left foot back as if you were coming into Warrior 2. So come back into your Warrior 2, bend the front knee, and then we're going to start to straighten the front knee. And you may want to have a block handy here. You can place it on the inside of your foot here, right beside your ankle. So start off with your knee bent, straighten, and then start to take this hip back. So draw this one in and take this one back. And just keep your hand on your hip here for a moment. Try not to hyper extend the back of your knee. And then we're going to reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, and then come down. So wherever you may be, if you want to use your block here, you can. And just think of opening up the side of the chest. So really just starting from the side of the waist and lifting open here, and then if you can, take your hand up and your gaze up. So you want to keep the side body open here too, so it's not collapsing, so that you can totally breathe into the side. Now to come out of this, just bend your front knee, and then inhale, come back up into your Virabhadrasana 2. And again, we're just going to bring those feet and switch them around. Have your block beside your foot, and again, come back into your Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten the front leg, and again, think of taking this hip back and this one back this way. So reaching out, reaching out, reaching out, and then placing the hand on the block, opening up, side body, and then taking the hand straight up. And breathe. Make sure that you're breathing. And you can put a little smile on your face. So to come back out of this, just bend your front knee. Come back into Virabhadrasana 2. And then come back to center. Namaste.